Thanks for joining us on a Two and a Blue interview. As you can see, different setting today. We're here at my parents' kitchen with Johnny Petrillo. Johnny is oil truck driver and servicer by day, ravioli maker by night. Johnny, man, what's up? Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this. Tell you a little bit about myself. I'm from Buena, New Jersey. I've been doing this for about Johnny Ravioli for about 3 years. I started making this when I was 12 years old. It's a family handed down business. My grandfather had a macaroni factory in Landisville, New Jersey. Was on Flower Street, and it was called St. Rita's Noodles. I learned from my mom. She had a catering business. She's now 97. And that's about what I have.
I heard your grandfather was pumping out 150,000 ravioli a year. Is that true?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
He was making pasta for San Giorgio. And he was in business for quite a while.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been handed down from generation to generation.
Cool. Yeah, so I've been like, I was telling, I said it before on a previous podcast. So I watched a series on Netflix called The Chef's Table, and they have a noodle series. The noodle series, this guy, they made making pasta look so cool. So I got really into it. I tried, fusilli, and I've been making a ton of spaghetti, angel hair, some raviolis. As you know, I've been sending you pictures almost every time, probably ad nauseum.
Yeah, I encourage people to try different things.
Yeah.
I mean, to master it, to where I'm at, it takes a long time. But if you keep at it, the sky's the limit. You can really make anything.
We're gonna have a cook-off one day, me and you.
Yeah, hey.
We'll have a ravioli contest.
I welcome it.
Let's go. I'm ready. All right, so we're going to start with our dough, right?
Yes, correct.
All right, so what do we do?
We're going to take
first?
Yeah, we're going to take 8 cups of flour out of there.
Now, are you like very particular with your cup measurings?
No, I'm old school. We never really. That's that's good.
All right.
Okay, so now I need 7 eggs broken into that container there. And the reason we do that, because if there's a bad egg or if a shell goes in there, it doesn't go into the product.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to add oil. We're only going to add a little bit. That's olive oil. That's all you'll add, just a little bit.
A tablespoon and a half-ish?
Yeah, just about a tablespoon, if that.
Okay.
So then we'll get this, and we'll toss this into our flour. Now I need warm water put in it, or hot, it doesn't matter. I prefer hot. Yes, and normally I do classes on weekends, in people's homes. No more than 10 people. I bring everything. I set everything up. We make the raviolis, and then we cook them at the end. We will cook them, I'll serve you, and then I'll clean up and I'll leave. Easy process, takes about 3.5 hours for a class. And you can have your wine, your hors d'oeuvres. I don't supply any of that, but I do supply everything for the class.
All right, so while we wait for the water to warm up, but all right, so we have all-purpose flour here.
Yeah.
Is that that's just your go-to always?
That's my go-to always.
So you're on a first date, you're making raviolis for this beautiful woman. You're going with all-purpose flour.
All-purpose flour.
All right.
Yeah, because you're going to get too intricate with the other stuff. This is all basic. This is your basic. When you teach somebody something, you have to always teach them the basics first. When you want to get into the semolina and you want to get into things like that.
Well, what's like the 00? What is that exactly? Like, what's better like about the 00? That's a softer
I find
flour,
that the
right?
King Arthur flour is the best.
Okay.
The EB eggs, I spare no expense on, the flour and the good eggs. I use good olive oil, and I use good cheeses that go in there. The good ricotta cheese, you'll notice that ricotta cheese there is like cream cheese. It isn't like the regular store bought.
Yeah.
The grades of flour, it's all depending what you want to do.
So for ravioli purposes,
You can use this
yeah.
for cavatelles, gnocchis, raviolis, manigattis, tortellinis. This is the basic go-to for the person that's going to learn the basics.
Okay.
I always keep it to the basics because I want people to learn. When they go home, I want them to be able to, make the product and not sit there and scratch their head and say, oh my God, I didn't remember anything. It's very basic. You have your 8 cups of flour, you have your 7 eggs. We put a little bit of olive oil in there. And now with the hot water, what we'll do is, you'll notice, I'm gonna put that under the mixer and it'll start coming together. This is the hardest part of everything, is getting this dough right. If you put too much water, you're done. You can't supplement and throw more flour in there. It's gonna be tough. You'll see exactly what I mean when we start. So let's get started. So you'll beat it slow, you'll see it coming together. You want all of that to beat up nicely before you start throwing water in there. So you'll notice it'll become crumbly. Could you pass me that blue?
Yep.
There you go, thank you. You'll notice it'll start coming together. See how it's coming together now? So we'll turn it up just a notch. You don't want to beat it too fast because then your dough will be tough. But in the beginning you can because it's crumbling. You see how it's coming together? And once all that moisture is absorbed into that flour, then you need the water. The reason for the hot water is to activate the gluten in the flour.
The hot water does that?
Hot flour, yeah, the hot water does it.
It's not the kneading?
No, we're not going to knead this at all. A little bit.
So this doesn't act as like a knead also?
This is going to knead it, you'll see.
Okay.
It'll all come together. So now we're going to add a little bit of water. We're going to turn it down, and we're going to start adding water. Little by little.
Yeah, and this looks like there is way too much flour, right? And it always does. Even no matter how you bring this dough together, it always feels like there's too much
Exactly.
flour at first.
The water is going to bring everything together. That's why I say this is the key.
Yeah.
Because if you put too much, forget about it.
Want a little salt in there?
No, that's all.
No salt. So this is very similar to like making concrete.
Well, if you want to look at it that way,
Kind of. You start out. You always want to add water. You don't want to put too much water.
right, you'll have
Make a
soup.
soup. Yeah.
I made concrete before.
Yeah.
Stucco. I've done it all. I worked for a beer company for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this was my main thing. And I'll tell you how it all started. I knew the trade from early on as a kid. But I was watching Steve Harvey one night.
Wait, when was this? When you were a kid?
No,
Oh.
just 3 years ago.
Okay.
I'm sitting down and watching TV, and I'm on YouTube, and I come across Steve Harvey's his YouTube channel, one of his stories. And he said, everybody has a gift. I'm sitting there and I'm going, well, what's my gift? Like, I know how to do a lot of things, but So I figured this has to be it. So I put a party together, and it was a hit. So I knew I was going in the right direction, but I really didn't tell anybody. Because if you tell somebody your dreams, they'll knock them down.
Yep.
So you have to go alone. So listening to Steve Harvey's story, if you ever listen to his story of how he came up, you know, it's like the American dream from scratch. The guy lived in his car for 3 years, became a comedian, really didn't make it. So this was my way of finding my dream. And I started this. And it took off.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
He is pretty inspirational.
He is. He's very
good
inspirational.
quotes, yeah.
He's very spiritual too, which I am. I believe in a lot of this stuff that, you know, you have not because you ask not. If you don't ask, you're not going to receive it. There's no way that it's going to come to you. So, when I started, I had no customers. So, who did I turn to? I turned to God. And I asked him, you know, if you help me, I'll do the work. In the morning, I had 5 parties booked, and I had nothing. I had not one party booked. And then I had 5.
Wow.
So you see how it works?
Yeah.
If you don't ask, you're not going to receive. It's all in his time. Now you see how our dough is?
Yeah, it started coming together.
That's ready.
Yeah. Is it ready?
That's ready. So
Wow.
move this out of the way.
Okay.
See how your dough came together?
Yep.
So that's all we need. Let me grab that lid. That's good for now. Put this to the side. Yeah, it all started with Steve Harvey, man.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's a cool story.
Yeah, without him, this would have never happened.
Well, sometimes, right? It's just like a little. That's all you need is like a little.
You need a push.
Just a little push.
You need
Yeah.
somebody to push you, to tell you either A, you're not going to make it,
Right.
and then that's all the more
Yeah.
drive that you need. Okay, so now we're going to take our cheeses over. We're going with that.
And I'm really excited to see this dry regatta you're talking about.
So take that out of there. And this, we don't need this anymore. Let's rinse this.
Yeah, it's definitely denser than
Yeah. You
like
cannot
a
have
regatta you would buy at the store.
you cannot have that regatta that you buy in the supermarket. It will not work. You have to strain it. You see how this is like cream cheese?
Yeah, it is like cream cheese, and like a normal regatta would be like a whipped cream cheese, just for
Right.
context,
Right.
for anyone who could see this, right?
Right. So this here we don't need anymore. Let me turn this inside out. There you go. Thank you. Okay, so now we have 5 pounds of regatta we put in there. For every pound of regatta, you use 1 egg. So I'm going to have you again
Okay.
break 5 eggs in there.
Burn through eggs.
Yeah, the price of eggs today.
Good thing it's not $10
We used to
a
tell them
dozen.
when we were kids, right?
Yeah.
On Halloween, nobody's throwing them now.
So what's the egg do in that regatta?
So it gives it, so how about if you got an egg and you cooked it, right? It's runny, but then all of a sudden you bring it together by cooking it. So you put that in there, and that egg, once it's cooked, it pulls that all together.
Okay.
So that's
So
exactly.
it's a binder.
It's a binder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So then we're gonna get our eggs, and we're gonna dump them in. Dip, dip, dip. So we're going to get our parsley.
Now you always use dry?
You can use fresh. I really couldn't find any fresh in the supermarket. It looked bad.
Parsley?
It looked really bad.
Where'd you go?
I went to ShopRite in Vineland,
Oh, man.
and it looked really bad. So I opted out, and the farmers aren't in operation right now. So, thank you.
Yep.
So I just get a handful of dried parsley. It's easier for people to use.
Handful. Love the measurement.
Handful.
Awesome.
Get your black pepper and sprinkle it.
Till it feels right.
Like the old
Yeah,
Italians,
till
right?
it feels right, yeah.
Get your salt. Now mind you, you have 5 pounds of ricotta in there. So
So it's salty.
you gotta make, that's not salty. You gotta put some salt in it.
Oh,
though.
you gotta, okay.
Yeah, you have to add your
Be
salt.
generous. You wanna be generous.
You wanna be generous, not too generous, but generous enough. So then you wanna take your Asiago cheese. The original recipe just calls for ricotta cheese. I add the Asiago, I like it. It gives it a little bit more flavor. Let's face it. When we fill something with some, we make a filling for something, we want to taste.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna make a cheese ravioli and you just put cheese, like ricotta cheese, you put these cheeses together with it.
Two handfuls.
Yeah,
1 3/4.
1 3/4.
That's good. Perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you put both.
yeah.
And
So
I tell
get,
people you can really put anything you want in here.
Yeah.
This is my recipe.
Oh yeah, you could do mushroom. You don't even need cheese.
Right, you can do whatever you want. I mean, this is my basic go-to. And then what I do use when I make spinach, I get, I buy a bag of spinach. I'll cook it down, and I'll
Squeeze it. Yeah.
I'll squeeze it real good. I'll cut it up, and I make sure that it's enough. You don't just see it;
Right. You taste it.
you taste it too.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
Now is that in the pasta or just
No, it's all in the filling.
Okay.
It's going to be two separate things. So we have our 5 eggs, we have our salt, our pepper, we have our cheeses,
Handful of parsley.
handful of parsley, and we have our 2 cheeses. That's all you need for this recipe. So then we'll put it in. Hold her up. Now you bump it. You bump it because I don't have a shield. And you don't want it to go whoop.
Right. Right.
Once you get it to where it's knocked down, then you're fine. You could get a bigger mixer, an 8-quart mixer. This is the 7.
It's a nice KitchenAid.
When I started off,
Yeah.
I used my aunt's. She passed away, and she left me a mixer, and that's what I started out with.
Nice.
I still have it. It's an avocado green.
They don't go
KitchenAid.
bad. They're awesome.
No,
Yeah,
it's
they're
it's
good.
old,
Yeah.
but let me tell you something. It's a good one.
Yeah. They're all good. It's a great product. Now, can you over whip this?
Yeah.
No, you could go forever.
You don't want to go for forever, but
Right.
you want it. You want the flavors to come together.
Yeah. Like you're not gonna separate it. It's not gonna turn into.
No.
Butter
So
burger,
this
right?
is so this is your your filling. you notice it's like cream. It's like creamy now.
Yeah.
If you want to get a spoon and taste it, that's fine. What do you think? You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's really good.
It's a really good recipe.
That regatta is
Yeah, that's top notch regatta.
yeah, that is good.
Yeah, that's not. That's
Now how could you get that regatta? Can anyone get that or
that I don't give away.
okay. See.
Yeah, I get it from somebody,
Alright.
a special place. But yeah, the regatta cheese, it has to be good regatta cheese. You can't make raviolis with that other stuff. No. We used to get
So
it.
what would you tell someone who is at ShopRite? You know, what do you? Is there like an extra dry regatta that?
Not that I know
on the
of.
shelf? No. So everyone's screwed.
You can go to your local places where they sell pasta. If you have a store close by, and you can get your regatta there.
Or you gotta call Johnny Ravioli to come
Or you
over
can call Johnny Ravioli to have a party.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's the thing. You want to have the
better
real
option.
regatta, you call me. I'm not going to tell you where to go because then I'll be ruining my business. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is top notch stuff. We used to get it when my mom was in business. We used to get it from Fiero Cheese in Delaware, and it was real dry, and it was made with goat's milk.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good regatta cheese. Yeah, and then before that, when I was a kid, she used to get it from Mr. Bruno on Bruno Cheese on Magnolia Road in Violent. It's hard to find somebody that makes this stuff anymore. If this guy went out,
Yeah.
Johnny Ravioli,
yeah.
Johnny Ravioli probably wouldn't exist. So I pray for the guy before I go to bed every night.
There you go.
One more. Let me have the bag. You like that cheese, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So that's ready. Okay? So we're going to get this stuff. We're going to put it behind us because we don't need any of this anymore. Let me get all this stuff out of our way. Now we're going to make raviolis. You ready?
Ready the pizza cutter?
Yeah, we'll leave that there. I
yeah,
use
just
that
in
instead of the rigid one. They sell that one. That I have another tool that I use. It was my mom's. And it's like the cure-all. So let's get
you
that.
can see all the gluten here.
Yeah.
So that's cellulite looking like bumps all over. That's gluten.
Yeah.
That's the gluten formation. Cool.
I just want to wipe this off real quick. Get any egg mixture off there. Okay, we're going to get this. And take this out. I'm going to make it like a loaf, right? Okay. So, close that up. Put that over here. Keep this bias, keep this over here. Keep this here. Okay, so.
So these numbers on this,
So I'll tell you all about those numbers in a
Okay.
minute.
are they universal numbers? Like any pasta roller you get, is that 5 the same anywhere you go?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Okay. Now we usually go to 6.
So what I do is, I go to 1
Yeah.
for the first
Yeah.
rollout,
Couple.
and then I go to 6. When you make raviolis, you should go to the 6.
You go 1 to
5.
6, or you step it, right?
I go, no, I don't step anything.
No, okay.
I go right to,
Now, do you fold your pasta to layer it a couple
You'll
of
see,
times?
you'll
Run it
see.
to 1. Okay.
yeah, I call that working the dough.
Okay.
So, where's that bag flour? This is gonna be our save all. You put this down here, like this, right? We get our dough, we're gonna work our first piece of dough. I'm gonna come over here, get that out of the way. Okay, so you get your dough, make it into like a disc.
Okay.
Okay, go on one. That's number one. So you fold it again, and you'll be able to tell. Now I'll go sideways. You want to square it off as much as you can. See how I squared it off? Okay, so that's ready to go. So what we'll do is, we'll stop it, we'll go to 6. We'll go to 6. Let me just move that bag out of the way for a minute. And we're gonna lay this down here. Okay, so we're gonna get this. I roll it along, put it on my racks. Some people punch it down with a thing I have in there, but I just go like this. I'm not that traditional guy. So then we fill it. You notice I had it cut on an angle, right? So when you go there, you want to have this on an angle, watch. You don't want to overfill. I make it look easy, right?
Yep.
We get our next piece of dough. Okay? Do the same process over. We're going to go to 1 and start our mixer up. This dough came out really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got the Grand Master making it.
Yeah.
So I can remember as a kid, right? My mother would have a big order to fill. And I would do it after work. And my father would poke his head in and he'd say, "You need help?" So we always had to listen to Nat King Cole when I worked with him. We always had to have that music on. Or else he wouldn't do it with me.
Do you work with music now?
I do, yeah. I
Nat
do.
King Cole stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, when I'm alone, I do Nat King Cole.
Oh.
Yeah. So we bring it over. Come to your end. This dough is very pliable, so watch.
It is. Yeah.
You can stretch it,
That
you
is
can do whatever you want to.
Very elastic.
You want to pat it down, get some air out of that. Move this over, move that. Now, here's the key. You go very lightly over the top. And the air bubbles, they're gonna come out, right? Go like this. Okay, and you do your edges. Now, you can put that right back into the dough there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we'll use that at the end. Always make sure your middle is out, because that'll have bits of cheeses in it. You don't want to. When we were kids, when my mother was done, we used to boil that. It would have cheese in it, and that would be like noodles. We didn't know the difference.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so we have a finished product here. I'm gonna lay out our tray. On the bottom, I throw flour. Some people throw cornmeal. I throw flour. So here's your finished product. All right? There you go. when that comes to a boil, the next batch. Matter of fact, you're gonna do.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready. Thought you'd never ask.
No, hey, I'm not gonna do all the work. So I showed you what to do.
Yeah.
I want you to take it from there.
Okay.
1 and 6.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna lay it on here. We're gonna get some flour up. That flour that we put on there is only for that they don't stick onto the mold. Because if you don't flour it, they will stick onto the mold. And it's, you can't get it, it's hard to get off. Yep, fold it. All right, there you go. Now fold it and go sideways with it. There you go. Now fold that in. Take this. No, not a whole fold. Take this. We want to square it. Go with that. So now see how we're square?
Yep.
The ends are square. We can shut it off. Go to 6. You in 6?
Got for like 5, right?
Yeah. Go ahead. I make it with a thicker dough. 6, you could go with a 7. I don't go with a 7.
Okay.
Because the thicker the dough, the less chances of it breaking.
Holding up? Yeah.
People,
Yeah.
what happens is people overcook raviolis. The key is to know how to cook them, not only make them. So stretch that out. Here, I'll show you a little trick. Grab that end, right? Don't even be afraid of it. Just bring it, and then make sure your rack is covered. These racks are a little bit wider, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I like the size of the ravioli.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, we're gonna fill your bag again. Or just use what you have there. Remember what I told you? That's good. Yep.
That's all right. That's coming off of that side a little bit.
Yeah, that'll be fine. I'll show you what we'll do. That's a little too much, but
Yeah.
that's okay. That's okay. That's good. So I try to make a sweeping motion instead of all staying on top of it. Here you go. Instead of staying on top of it,
Yeah.
sweep across it.
Okay. Oh, we're boiling, babe. That was quick. Let it boil for a second.
Yeah, let that boil.
Now, can we remove some of this cheese?
Nah, it'll be all right.
That'll be all right?
Yeah, it'll be all right. So, like I was telling you about the sweep, right? Instead of staying on top of that, you want to sweep. So you come to the edge, hold on, come to the edge, and just sweep.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
You don't want to stay in the middle because you'll put too much remote in. So run your piece for the top. One to 6. Good. I'll put that on top. Get your rolling pin. Now see how you have all that excess?
Yeah.
Next time, when you do them, bring this to the end.
Okay.
And then you'll have all this left over. It doesn't matter. That's the way I do it. So you're,
Yeah, yeah.
go ahead, here you go.
You start off nice and slow.
Start off right, nice and slow. You just want to get the air out of there. Get the air out. You're doing great.
Now we're gonna hit our edges.
Now you're going to hit the edges. Go ahead. There you go. You can tell you're Italian.
Yeah.
So when you go like that, come back on it. So I'll show you. I won't do it, but if you go, come back on it.
Okay.
And press it into it a little bit so you won't have it ride. Did you see how it was riding?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Now you can do your edges and then go over the top real good. Go ahead, go ahead. Go over the top. Not too hard, not too hard.
Okay. It's folded on.
Yeah, so you don't have to put all the, just go with them. Let the pin do the work.
Okay.
You're just pressing enough to where it cuts through. You don't want to.
Yeah.
So pop them out and take this out. Let's see. Let's get that out of there. We're going to cut a couple. You want to cook some, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So we'll cook all 10.
We'll cook all 10?
Eh,
Yeah, why not?
that one's MIA. Okay. So what you want to do is, so normally you have a big pot, right? And they'll stop boiling. So they call it the second boil. Once it starts second boiling, because they're not frozen, it's going to second boil right away. If they were frozen, it would take a little bit for a second boil to come. Then you cook them for maybe 5 minutes, because there's nothing in there that's really raw. Okay? You just want the cheese.
Should we put some butter on a flat on a pan? And give them a little sear.
You do whatever you want.
What do you think?
I wouldn't, but that's up to
Oh,
you.
you want? Okay, I want that.
We'll let them boil up a little bit. We'll lower our heat just a tad there. Yeah, let them cook. Go ahead and start your next piece. Francois,
You got it.
I'm going to call you Chef Boyardee.
Yeah,
Huh?
should.
Chef Boyardee. Chef Boyardee from Hamilton. The pasta gods would be happy with you. So now, we're going to test our raviolis.
Oh, yeah. Now you're talking.
Huh?
Now you're talking.
Pass me that fork there, please. Thank you.
Yep. All right, let's see what we got here, baby. I hear rooms over there.
I put it cooked a little longer, a little al dente, but you get the picture of it. What do you think there, Pops? Huh?
Oh, fantastic.
Man, that ricotta is good. It's unbelievable. I don't even like ricotta. I got a secret for you. As Italian as I might be.
That is so
It's silk. It's like silk.
That's good stuff.
Very good.
Yeah.
And the dough, like you said, it's not too thick, not too thin.
Yeah.
Perfect. You're eating my good.
And it's all-purpose flour, but it's good flour.
Mm.
You can get the organic in that as well. I don't use the organic.
Oh, man. Oh, you took the pot off the thing? Oh,
Well, you wanted more?
there's no more out there, boy.
Come on, Angela Masseria. You want some more?
Mm.
You're gonna have all those. Huh?
Johnny Ravioli. Can't thank you enough, buddy, for coming and hanging out. It's been
Had a great
awesome.
time.
So much to learn, dude. I feel like,
There is. You
Yeah.
didn't even touch an edge of it. I mean,
yeah,
it takes years.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't
Yeah.
realize it, but it's an art.
yeah, it really is an art. It really
It
is. Yeah, and man, good job, dude. Keep pumping them out. This is awesome.
Yeah.
We'll put your number up here if anyone wants to call you for a pasta party, a ravioli party.
Yeah, man.
The
That's
master himself, Johnny Ravioli. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
See you next week.
All right, take care.
Cheers, Steve. Cheers.